Well, hello, and welcome back to Madison, Indiana. This is Gregory Stewart, and we are on Surviving with Style on a Budget. So this is a very exciting week for my husband and myself here in Madison. Every year, the last weekend and first weekend of October is the Tri Kappa Home Tours. So Tri Kappa is an organization that through the funds that they raise, provide social service items to individuals in our community, and they do a lot of great work and help a lot of agencies and organizations around here. So they asked if we would have the home on the tours this year, and of course, we obliged. So this episode is going to be making a centerpiece for the dining room table and setting the dining room table. We're taking the opportunity, though, to use this tour to also have a dinner gathering for some friends Saturday night. So we're gonna set this table and we're gonna make the centerpiece, and we're probably gonna do it, I'm gonna say, in about 20 minutes from start to finish. One thing that I wanna point out to everyone is when we are doing a table scape, it's really what you like. There is no steadfast right or wrong with this. So it is in the eye of the creator. And I want to create this with a vision that I've come up with. It may not be a formal dinner place setting, but it's going to look great when we're done. So first, I think we should start with the centerpiece. So as I walk over here, I've taken the liberty we have this sterling compote that also has these two ladies that are gilded underneath it. We love this piece, but we don't use it a lot. The reason we don't use it is it tarnishes very frequently. So we pull it out for special occasions. So what I have done is take the liberty to put Oasis foam. So if you watched one of my previous episodes on fall centerpiece, you'll know that this is Oasis. Oasis you can purchase at any hobby store, Hobby Lobby, even Walmart, and some of the chain stores have it. It usually comes in a package of about 6. I buy it in a case of 48 to 60 because we go through a lot of it here at the house. So it is a dry foam, but it absorbs water. So what I've done is already soak these blocks in a solution of Floral Life, which is an additive you put in the water, and it increases the life of the flowers. And I went ahead and took the liberty to put the wheat in here. We're fortunate living out in the middle of the country because we have farmers everywhere. So it's easy to obtain wheat from the local farmers, and they really don't care when they cut it. There's thousands of these laying in the fields that they were unable to get into the bins. So I've taken the liberty to soak this, and I have the wheat already in here, and this is what we're going to start with. So you'll remember that oftentimes I will tell people when I'm doing cakes and doing floral arrangements, the items came from the landscape. Fall is an absolutely spectacular time to get flowers out of the landscape, so this arrangement really cost me $4 for the foam, nothing for the flowers that we're going to use. So these are the flowers, and this is called limelight hydrangea. We grow these at the side of the house here, and every fall I cut them, and if you cut them at the perfect stage where they have a little bit of tonal red in them, they will actually dry perfectly like this. So if you follow me over here to this Roseville Jardinier here, so what I suggest when you make an arrangement like this is put it in a low traffic area. A high traffic area tends to attract more dust that will get on these dried flowers, and it really is hard to clean that off. So for me, this is disposable. When Christmas rolls around and we start to decorate for Christmas, these will find their way out to the compost pile. So I'm going to start with these, but I also want to show you the other florals I picked out of the landscape to use. These are just mums, and we are fortunate living here that we have a lot of Amish communities in this area, and they grow mums every fall. So these are off some mums that we planted at the side of the house last year, and they just did beautifully this year. And we're going to use these. And then my favorite filler is beautyberry. So this lovely spire here, and I'll bring it a little closer so you can truly see the berries here. This lovely spire is called American Beautyberry. In the winter, when nothing else is out, these will just shine through the snow. They're beautiful. Livestock love them. Wildlife love them. So it's well worth planting these, but know if you plant an American Beautyberry, they are invasive. These seed, wherever they drop, they grow, and you will have a lot of difficulty getting these out of a really pruned landscape. So I would suggest using them for erosion control. Use them on a woodline area that you don't care that they're going to get sprawling and somewhat invasive. We keep ours under control because I do a lot of pruning to them. So these are the 3 items we're going to use on this arrangement. Now I use a knife when I'm designing, and I do that because it's very easy to make my cuts and a quick process. However, I always recommend for someone who is not usually a floral designer, just use a pair of scissors. It's a lot safer. So we're going to start. The wheat's in there. The next item that I want to put in here is going to be these limelight hydrangea. Don't overthink a floral design, because if you overthink it, it's probably not going to turn out the way you want. But if you go in with no expectations and you just want to be creative, it's going to turn out perfect. So as you'll see, I just start putting these in there. No rhyme, no reason to how I'm doing it. And with these limelight, they have very fragile stems, so you don't need to cut those with the snips. I'm just filling in gaps with the hydrangeas. And never waste anything. Even the smallest thing, like this small hydrangea that was probably very late to mature, it's going to be usable. So now that we have those in there, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the mums. So if you have a lot of foliage, make sure to take that foliage off. And then we'll just start putting them in there. Now when you do a design that's really low and compact and very tight, sometimes they call that a pave design. This really is not pave because I am leaving some height to some of these items that I'm putting in there, but you get the idea. And if you can follow what I'm doing, is the holes that were in here that the hydrangea did not cover is where the flowers are going. And a shout out to Danny that's behind the camera today, because usually I do this on my GoPro and then she does all the magic. But I wanted to see what it was like with someone using an actual camera to record. And I think it's going to be a lot better. So we're going to see. So I'm going to turn this so you can see how I'm filling it in. We're getting there. And again, I'm not putting really much thought into this, as you see. I'm just putting flowers in here. So now we're going to add the last element of this. I don't want too much in it because I want it to just be pretty understated, because this room is a little overstated and the table scape will be a little overstated as well. So I will say that these beautyberry are not poisonous. So if you did drop some on the floor and you have cats and dogs, they'll be okay. In fact, our dogs love to, during the winter, over at the side of the house, eat all of the berries on the spires that are cascading down from the plant. So I think that is about all I want to do to this. I think it's beautiful. As you can see, it was very quick to make. And and it is going to do beautifully where I want it to sit. Typically, I would not make an arrangement on the table and in a room that I've already had cleaned. But for the purposes of this video, it worked fine. So we're setting this in the center of the table, and this is going to be our focal point for the table scape. So now what I'm going to do is start carrying items over. And the first thing that I'll show you are these incredible placemats that I found at HomeGoods. I mean, come on, everybody loves HomeGoods. So I almost didn't get these because a lady kept touching them and I kept hovering behind her because they only had 4 of each. However, she turned her back to get something else and I grabbed all of them that were there and bought them. So, as the host, my husband and I will sit at the head of the table. So we're going to have a different placemat than our guest will have, but they'll have these beautiful pumpkin placemats. So this starts the base for the table. The next item that I'm going to put on here, remember in an episode, if you watched it, I talked about tag sales and estate auctions. So we were at an estate auction recently, and there was a place setting of Limoges plates, bone china, that included about 45 pieces. So I sat there very patiently. I got into a bidding war with it, but you can see who won the bidding war. And we're going to use these as the base for the table scape. So as you can see, it's starting to become a table scape, but there needs to be more to this. So I feel like we need a contrast on top of these Limoges plates, and we're going to add that now. So at another auction that we were at, an estate sale, were these beautiful transferware plates. Now, there wasn't a lot of them. Actually, there was only 6 of them, but there were some other items that came with this. But I'd like to hold it up so you can see. They're in great shape. They're from about 1885, and there's no damage to these. So I'm going to put these on top of the plates, and these are actually going to be our salad plates for the dinner. So the next thing I'm going to add are some small, I'm going to use these as bread plates. They're a little small for bread plates, but they're going to work for this purpose. We never have a dinner without bread. I absolutely love different types of bread, French breads, etc. And we have a farmer's market that on Saturday mornings we can go to and pick up the perfect items for this dinner. So we're going to put these to the left of the plates. And now we're going to put down some berry bowls. So when we have salads, we usually have different types of berries for people to put on the salads and nuts. And a lot of people do not like berries or nuts or other things on their salad. So we give them the option. So we're going to have these little berry plates here. And I'm just going to set them right above. So we always put the items out in the serving dishes when we're having a party or a gathering. It always looks more finished that way. So this is going to be one of the plates that we're going to serve from. And this will have different types of meats on it. This will have the chicken on it. And I think we'll place it right here. These bowls here, these small serving bowls, will have vegetables. So we will have glazed carrots in one. And then in the other, we'll probably have green beans. We know that this bowl will probably have some type of casserole in it, most likely a broccoli cheese casserole. This bowl here will have the breads in it, so we'll have some type of beautiful napkin in it that will fold over and it'll have the breads in it. So we'll probably just set that here. And if we're having a roasted chicken, we certainly are going to have gravy with that. So this is going to be the gravy bowl. Now, we typically don't share salt shakers at this house. We give each guest their own salt shaker. And we started doing this when COVID hit, and we still wanted to have people over and still somewhat social distance and not have the same utensils in our hand. And we just continue to do it. Now, I don't drink coffee. However, some of the guests will drink coffee, and we will have the coffee in their cups, but I probably will keep these on the break front over here until we're ready for them at dinner. So we'll set these here. If you're wondering what these are, they are actually how we give people sugar here at the house. So when I open this, it will have a sugar column in it, and I have sugar nips that they cut the sugar off and they put into their coffee. I do not drink coffee, so we're not going to do that until the guests are here. The last item that we're going to use to complete the table scape is actually going to be the beverage dispenser, and this is going to be the coffee pot that we use. Just get rid of that plate. And these you may think are salt and pepper shakers, but we actually put cinnamon in these, and that way people who want cinnamon in their coffee have the ability to add the cinnamon, and it just steps it up a little bit instead of having an individual container. So the only thing missing here on this table scape are the beverage glasses. We will, of course, have a water glass, a goblet most likely. We will have a wine glass, and with this dinner, it'll probably be a red wine that we serve. It'll be room temperature, of course. And then for a couple of our guests, they drink tea. I love Earl Grey tea, so we'll have some glasses probably setting over here for the Earl Grey tea. So as you can see, within about, I'm going to say I was right at about 20 minutes, we created a floral design and we've set a beautiful table. It's still not done, so no tablescape is complete until you have your napkins on the table. These napkins I've had for years, and as you can probably see from the wall color, the runner color, and these napkins, this is one of my favorite colors. Sometimes I'll get really creative with a napkin fold, but for this I'm going to keep it simple. So all I'm going to do is pinch in the center. I am going to cup my fingers over and pull down, and then I'm going to do that one more time. And then I'm going to bring these over to the camera. These are beautiful napkin rings, so hopefully you can see that. And I purchased these, believe it or not, at HomeGoods. So we're just going to stick the center of that in there. We're going to pull down. And to me, that's just very understated and beautiful. So what we will do with that is lay it at the top of the plate. Okay, we're almost to the last plate. So I don't know about you, but I think this turned out beautifully. The table itself is a table I would love to sit at and have conversation, wonderful camaraderie, and eat a great dinner. The floral arrangement that I made actually will last for probably a week and a half to maybe 2 weeks because it is flowers that do last. These, of course, will dry that way. These are already dried. The beautyberry will probably hold on for about a week, and these mums will probably last about a week as well. The other thing with mums that you've grown in your landscape is they can be used, the petals pulled off and used in salads and with food, or you can just garnish a plate with them. So we will probably make butter in a mold, and then we will probably set this around the edge of the butter, just to give a little bit of elevation to the look of the butter on the plate. I hope you can see how easy this was to do in 20 minutes. As I shared, really I went out to the landscape and picked the flowers for the centerpiece, and then went to some of the farmers' fields close by and picked up wheat, and I think it just turned out beautifully. So I hope that you decide to take on a beautiful tablescape, blend it to whatever the month is, make sure to do a theme. There's nothing better than a theme at a table. And just remember, it's your creativity. It doesn't matter if it's formal or not formal. If you like it, that's all that matters. I've never cared what people think. I'm a bird of a different feather, and I drum my own drum. So I hope you take this on. If you like it, please click the like button. If you have suggestions for future episodes, please let me know. I would certainly appreciate that, because I don't want to bore people with cake decorating and flower arrangements all the time. But give me an idea of something that you would like to see, and I'll take it on. I made the window treatments, so we may even do window treatments in a future episode. They're very easy, so let's just see. So all well-laid plans don't always go as planned. I forgot a couple things. First, I forgot the candles. So there will be some beautiful taper candles in those candelabras. And then the last thing I forgot to show you is the seating card. So with these place card holders, we're going to have place cards with the individuals' names in calligraphy, and we will set them on each of the tables. But what we do at our dinner parties is a little different than a lot of other people. We don't set couples together that are married or dating. We move them to opposite chairs so everyone is engaged in conversation. And it's something that we just do and we have fun with. So remember, you don't always have to set your guests side by side that are married or dating. Mix it up so everyone gets to know someone. And that's the other thing we try to do as well. We invite people who don't know one another so we can expand friendships. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I have tremendously enjoyed showing people how to pull things out of their landscape from the local farms around them and make it something that's beautiful. Remember, a tablescape is what you want. It's not something you read in a book or that you see on a segment like I'm doing right now. It's got to be something you like and that you want and that reflects your personality. So I hope you take this on. Remember, it's fall. Embrace the colors that are around you. This is a perfect time of year to use yellows, oranges, reds, aubergines, deep purples, etc. And just have fun with it. As I always close out every episode, I want you to remember this. Love is love. Embrace inclusion and diversity and make it a part of your life. Until the next episode, take care. Thank you.